Hello and welcome back to round 3 of the Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Prodigy Disc. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we are the two hot geese.
Honk. Thank you guys for tuning in the last 2 rounds. Thanks to GKPRO for the awesome coverage. And today we get to watch a little bit of a new leader card. We have an addition in there, Catrina Allen, Sarah Hokom, Paige Pierce, and Kona Panis. Back on the lead card.
Yeah, Kona jumped up. Her and Macy are tied for that 4th place spot. Really, it's a battle for second. I mean, Kat has a commanding 10-stroke lead. Everybody else in position from like second all the way down to 10th. It's a pretty tight field.
We got some rain in the forecast today, and but on hole 1 it was sunny, still sunny. So we're starting out with this short par 3, or long par 3, 380 feet. It's downhill, gettable, but with a max distance drive.
From Minnesota, Catrina Allen.
Not a lot of wind going on today. A little bit of a tailwind on hole 1, but nothing really to obstruct the throws too much.
You can see the weather forecast in the top left there. It started off pretty nice, just a little breezy, but pretty warm. Like, I was wearing long sleeves and I felt like an idiot. Everybody was wearing t-shirts. But yeah, we'll see some rain later. Kat leading things off with her 400 D1.
Uh-oh.
Yanks it. No OB over there, and actually she fights all the way through and is pin high.
Team next from Idaho.
She'll even have a look at a putt from circle 2. We get to watch Sarah Hokom again, shape lines. Well, maybe we'll see some more backhands today as well. She's starting out in a tank top again. That will definitely change later.
She's got the best tank top game in the sport, I think.
I agree, 100%.
That was a trace just to the edge of circle 2.
About the same spot as yesterday.
Next on the tee from Texas.
Yeah, she probably wants to get a little bit more turn on it. It's kind of been straight to hyzer. Paige ripping on a Zeus here. I'm sure she's looking to catch Catrina, you know, like I mean, I'm sure everybody wants to win. Like, they're not like, oh, let me settle for a second. But Paige in particular, second's not even on her mind. She's making a push, and that's a great start.
Rounding out the 3:30 tee time from California.
After Kona's dominating performance at Waco, it's no surprise to see her back on the leader card.
I want to say she shot a 4 down to get here.
Great score out here. She struggled a little bit in parts of the Texas swing after Waco, but she said she was struggling with her putt a little bit, but obviously it's worked enough to get her back on the lead card, back in contention for second place.
That's her Signature Series 2021 Emperor. Really good throw. Leaves her maybe 40 feet.
Out of the, oh wow, she's outside circle 2. That is my bad. Out of the 30 competitors in the FPO field, we only had 4 birdies on the day, more than we've had the past 2 days. That's a couple people figuring it out, it seems, but still not as many as I would hope.
Kona does that Annie putt with her alpacas and leaves it just a bit short. And that's, you know, kind of a tester. Like, it's not, but hole 1, so it is. Ooh, yep, it is.
She has some room to miss some after yesterday making everything.
It took her 2 holes yesterday to warm the old putter up, and then she didn't miss again. So I'm sure we'll see her correct that.
Paige with the only birdie on the lead card.
Yeah, really easy birdie.
Shout out to Christine Jennings, Stacy Ronsley, and Rebecca Cox for getting the 2 on hole 1 as well.
I think Stacy threw in a big one from circle 2.
Oh, she did. She was on my card. I should know that.
Wow.
It was about 36 feet.
Nice. All right, moving on to hole 2. You got to throw a hyzer out of this gap. You want to throw it pretty far to the left, landing in the middle near that 250 stake, and then it's usually a blind approach unless you're crazy far up the hill. It's really common to leave it short because it's blind, so we'll see if the ladies can get up there. It's definitely birdieable.
Yeah, the low ceiling also doesn't let you sky it as much as you want to go ahead and get as far back there as you can.
Yeah, it's a technical approach for sure.
There's an OB fence behind the basket as well that can come into play for some of these power players that are going to get way down there on their first shot. But like Erika said, most people have the issue of shorting it and landing, you know, right around circle's edge, or maybe in circle 2, short of the basket.
That was a really good first shot from Paige. Did Sarah throw the backhand here yesterday? Nope,
No.
forehand. Okay.
Remember the shapely forehand?
Oh, the shapely forehand. Let's see it again.
A little higher than yesterday and a little bit more turned over, but it still lands in the middle of the fairway. Works his way where it needs to be.
Yeah, that was her relay, and she's in a good spot. That looks like that same Emperor from Kona. And that looks good as well.
Everyone working their way past this 250 state, trying to make that second shot as easy as possible. Bunch of great drives.
This is Catrina's X1. Nice and stable.
Really, really working the right side of that gap and the deep side of the fairway, but she'll still be able to get up and down from there. Might have to take more of a forehand approach or a pretty sharp Anheuser backhand.
I wonder if Hokom can see that little tiny band, a little bit of it. If so, it's so helpful. She puts herself to 15-ish. Really nice shot.
Nice power forehand.
Ooh, Bushnell Range FInder puts this shot at 256 feet to the green.
Little foreshadowing. Ooh, I thought she was going to pin it.
Circle's edge, though. See her put that putter to work. Wow, Paige is so far up there.
Yeah. She can definitely see the basket at this point.
I'm sure that's a fierce from her.
She even has,
Perfect.
she's far enough to the right, too, where she doesn't even have to worry about the low ceiling. She can just kind of air out her putter to the right-hand
Yeah.
side.
Man, nice birdie start from her. And I didn't realize Kat was even farther than Paige.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But she does that same mistake that you see all the time where she shorts it just a little bit, and now she has to make a putt. Go in.
Four's not bad. Like we've said the last couple of days, though, you do want to try to find as many birdies as you can on the front nine because the back nine is pretty difficult. And also, we are forecasted rain for the back nine.
Same as yesterday. Kat missed a little low, then a little high.
And
Let's
now
see
she's
her
gonna
make
be
the
on
next
fire.
one. Yeah.
It's the recipe for success. Great birdie from Hokom. 30% of the field with birdies. Really excellent women's hole again. Scoring separation was perfect.
I think that's a little higher than it's been, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. I was looking at the scores from yesterday, and it's funny to see what happens when the rain comes. It wasn't just rain, it was like a wall of wind that hit in like 1 second. It was crazy.
We have video footage of it just for you guys.
Oh my God.
Hole 3, 310 feet. It's a par 3, but it is slightly uphill. Plays a little bit longer than 310 feet. There's also this little downhill gully area where there's a lot of wind action. It kind of swirls, so you kind of just have to hope that nothing happens to your disc. Maybe throw something over stable. There's an OB fence on the left that can definitely come into play if you don't get enough meat on the drive. Lots of room to work with, though. So we'll see a lot of players putting it out wide, letting it come back.
If you don't throw a stable enough disc here today, I'm not even sure which direction the wind was going, but 3 of us on my card ended up flipping the drive over to the right. So it's just real swirly.
Yeah, it kind of, the flags to the right side of the basket that are on one of the other tees, you can see the black Prodigy flags. They were kind of depicting like there was a right to left crosswind, but then you throw your disc and it feels more like a headwind or a left to right. So it was very confusing.
Well, they're making it look super easy.
That's all they got on this lead card.
Do you think Kona just throws this on every hole?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the story at Jonesboro. You pick your favorite driver and you just throw it over and over again on every hole.
She hangs it out a little bit too far to the right. And I believe that's that same X1 that Kat threw on the last drive as well.
Yeah, this event is definitely reminiscent of the Las Vegas Challenge. You basically just get a lot of field work in.
Yeah.
You're throwing over and over again. I mean, the cool thing about Jonesboro is there's some awesome technical wooded holes and some drives where you really do have to think about your angle of release. But yeah, you're throwing a lot of distance drives over and over again. I feel really confident with your drivers after this week.
Definitely.
You can see the wind really picking up, and it is a crosswind.
I wonder if she was going for that or just laying up.
Maybe a soft bid. She didn't look too bummed when it didn't catch any metal.
Hit the chains. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're just like clairvoyant. We just know.
Are we watching the footage from yesterday?
Good correction.
Oh no. Maybe hoping for that wind to push a little, but she putts pretty flat. I don't think she thinks about wind on the green. Hokom definitely does with a little bit of a softer push putt, but she finds the birdie.
Yeah, 2 in a row.
20% of the field with birdies today. 6 competitors out of 30. I think that's a little bit better than days past, if I remember correctly. Kona with the bag putt.
Moving on to hole 4. You have to throw through this gap under this branch that really just likes to smack the old frisbee down. You're trying to land out to the left side so you have an open approach. The OB definitely wraps around the pin, so it is a bit of a dangerous shot. You can see those stakes on the left side. And then, of course, the elevated basket is always a bit nervy.
Yeah, this is one of the windier fairways and greens on the course as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Something about this corner. There's a lot going on. This is a deceivingly tough tee shot. It slopes downhill, but then you can also see the uphill that's further down the fairway, so it kind of gets in your head. There's a low ceiling with that branch that we see Hokom avoid really awesomely. But there's also a left to right downsloping fairway, and it kind of pulls your disc to the right a little bit. So
yeah, you saw where Hokom's ended up behind that tree.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that your brain is trying to take in. Katrina successfully navigates all of it with a overstable driver. Gets an awesome skip.
400 GD2, 355-foot long drive.
On a rope the whole way.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like no more than 6 feet off the ground.
Maybe she's been taking lessons from Calvin.
I know, that was a very Calvin drive.
This is a bit high, but yeah, sometimes you get lucky through that top branch. Paige is going to have a hard time getting to the green from there. She can probably do it. No one else probably can.
And if she was going to do it, that's the right side of the fairway to be on.
That's true. Ooh, this is a different disc. Let me see.
Kona going for the low shot as well, hoping to get some skips.
That's her Halo Destroyer. Just a bit low, but she's in a decent spot.
So she disked up in this windy area, definitely not wanting to mess with her disc flipping over while trying to throw that power low backhand shot.
Turned it.
She kept it low this time. Maybe that OB got in her head in the last minute. You know when you're running up and then the OB flashes in your mind? And then your wrist just turns.
I feel like That can happen with so many little things. Sometimes I run up and I think, like, what if I don't step behind my mini? Like,
Oh, God.
and I, like, want to look down. It's the dumbest thing ever. Like, of course I'm going to. I've done this
That's not.
6,000 times in my life. Like, you're going to be fine.
Oh, your road just melts right there at the last step.
God, yeah.
Hokom with a very technical sidearm through all the branches, gets way down there inside circle 2, and she'll have a putt.
I mean, that was really well done. She's closer than the other two who had open looks.
Yeah,
Super well done.
surprised to see Kona flip something on her shot, but she'll have an easy up and down for par.
It was a glow T-bird, so maybe just not quite stable enough for this windy corner.
She's probably thinking about the OB on the left side of the green as well.
Man, that was gorgeous.
That was amazing.
That was an M2 thrown to perfection.
She's just making it look easy out here. Just going to throw a mid-range on her second shot and no big.
Like a potentially flippy one, too.
Yeah.
Just, what wind?
Kona trying to tap that lighthouse. Slides by a little bit. She'll have a look for her par.
Even those 20-footers on the elevated pin feel a little sketchy.
Yeah. Great approach from Paige. Hokom lining it up.
Yeah. It looks
Sometimes
like
she takes a lot of focus on her layups too. But no, she's going for it. Heck yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, 50-50 either way, I don't know.
Good players take a lot of time focusing on their layups too.
See, now she's not going to miss a single putt, right? That's how it works.
This is Catrina's game. We're all just playing.
So she's now one down for the round.
This camera angle makes this basket look gigantic.
Maybe Kona's just really small.
Oh.
Ah, bummer. So I guess we see some of those putting woes you mentioned that Kona was feeling.
4 birdies on the day. We watched Catrina get one of them. Congrats to Cynthia Ricciardi, Stacy Ronsley, and Haley King.
Wasn't Stacy on your card?
Yep. I don't even remember it.
Oh my god.
No, she was parked. Absolutely parked. Didn't even have to putt.
Our warehouse manager Dylan is on vacation this week, so we decided to bring Heather in to keep things running at a high level. She's already had a huge impact on our crew, and overall, they've embraced the changes surprisingly well. We're really happy with how Heather is doing in this new leadership role.
Paige and Hokom kind of take a little bit of a stretch away for the second place position, and we move into hole 5. It's a par 3. It's slightly downhill, 345 feet. A lot of trouble on this hole. OB everywhere. OB on the right-hand side, OB in this little bog gully across the center, just before the circle's edge. I think we'll see a lot of the ladies on this card going for it, except for maybe Hokom. Very tough sidearm route.
I mean, she's good at those tough sidearm routes, but it's very dangerous.
Ooh, Catrina gets a little wind action. I don't know if she was trying to go over the top of that tree, but it works for her. I feel like yesterday she took a lot more of a linear approach.
Yeah, I think so too. She lands maybe 40 feet away, and that'll be decision time. She's putting right at the water.
Sarah's looking like she's holding a putter or a mid. Definitely not going for it.
Yeah, that's her pyro, just laying up.
I think that's a smart play here for a sidearm player.
I mean, it's a very common play even for a backhand player.
Totally.
Like, it's a crush to get down there, and you saw where Catrina landed. Like, even if you get across, it's not like you're guaranteed the 2. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty risky, especially having to come back to that drop zone if you miss.
High risk, small reward.
Yeah, my favorite. Yep, so we'll see Paige have to go from that drop zone, and unless she throws it in, it's pretty much a guaranteed 4.
Yeah, but when you're rolling with the big dogs on the lead card, you expect a lot of them to go for it. Kona, super smart, though.
Yeah, it's her Champ Rock X3.
I believe this was a little bit of a headwind feeling.
Yeah,
Correct? Yeah.
it was.
Scariest wind to go for this shot, that's for sure, with all that water on the right-hand side.
So Hokom going a little backhand approach. It's open, on the left side for a forehand or the right side for the backhand. Cool to see her choose backhand, and she does that really well. Kona choosing forehand with an AVRX3.
Oh, no.
And in her comments on her disc list, she says, AVRX3, Yankadoodle.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, looks like she was running that, and it was a good bid.
Only 3 2s on the day.
So because Kona went out on her second shot, she doesn't have to go to the drop zone. Oh man, that looked good.
Such a good bid from out there.
Yeah, she'll have to take the double bogey. Like you said, kind of falling off that second place battle.
But there is a lot of golf left and a lot can happen. That's for
true.
sure. There's a lot of birdies left.
Do
Katrina
it,
for
do
2.
it, do it. God,
Look.
see, she just can't miss.
There she goes again.
Gosh.
Oh, okay, she's just outside the circle.
Yeah, let's see that one more time with that GK replay.
Look how death putty that is. If she misses, it can roll out of bounds so easily. No problem.
She's looking so confident.
Other 2 birdies on the day were Lori Merriman and Kat Mersch. Congrats to them. I believe they were on the bottom card, so that's exciting. Bottom card, 2 birdies on one of the hardest holes.
Yeah, it's super, super tough gets. So that's really cool.
Congrats to them. Shout out.
Paige with a confident putt, having to take the bogey. And Kona just cleaning up.
A little bit of wind in her face on a short putt.
Yep, not looking too thrilled. Hole 6, the island hole. You have to land on that island or else you have to throw from the drop zone across the water until you make it in bounds. It's the backs of those stakes, and then there's an OB line that's off the water, so you can't just skip it off the water and be an inch touching the grass. It's very clear, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know what you gotta do.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do OB lines around water. Just go ahead and put a line there. That way we don't have to have any discussions on what's in and what's out.
Oh, I hate that. Well, this blade of grass is...
Katrina not happy with it. She knows
Yeah.
out of her hand.
So she'll have to proceed to that drop zone. It's not the hardest drop zone, but I don't know. Anytime you're throwing over water, it can be a bit scary.
Hokom did not put her sidearm out wide enough. Maybe she'll catch on the green. Yes,
Oh,
she does.
yeah. Good catch. And she should be able to take a meter in, leave herself with maybe 25 feet.
Very fortunate little fence action. Paige lining up a putter?
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
I feel like it's a fierce. Isn't that all she throws for
It
putters?
could be a buzz.
Okay.
Oh, here
okay.
comes the rain.
Wow, those drops look huge
They're
on the
massive.
coverage. They felt huge out there too.
It happened so fast. Like,
Everyone's panicking like you were having to put your rain fly on really fast.
yeah. This is like a rough hole to all of a sudden be like, oh, it's raining.
Oh no, talk about losing your focus right here. I mean, that is definitely not a typical miss for Kona, especially by that much.
It sucks. The other 3 ladies didn't really have that. Paige, like, just at the end of her throw. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, how did that find the island?
Oh my god. Because it like turned into like a vertical hyzer. That was crazy. I mean, smart to throw putter, but what?
So I don't know if I can really get the point across how intense this little wind front was, but I mean, it was blowing like 30 to 40 miles per hour. Look at those flags. You can see them like bending over.
Like, my card took cover under one of those pop-up tents that wasn't totally ratcheted down, and the whole tent was like lifting up and bouncing around, and we were trying to hold it down. An umbrella that would be on the ground unopened would catch the wind and like catapult away.
Yeah, my closed umbrella turned into a literal torpedo.
Oh man, this is like not the best hole for them to have to deal with this.
Wow.
Whoa. Did you see that? Like little lift and drop in the middle of that flight.
That was such a great putt for
Right?
birdie in these conditions.
Yeah. Taking strokes on folks with that one. Oh, sit.
Look at that wind action. So yeah, this is definitely a not the most fun hole for this front to push through on.
Yeah.
She finds her focus though, saves her double bogey, and I know that's a bummer. And we watched Catrina also take a double bogey, but or we will watch her. But you know, you have to forgive yourself in these type of conditions. You can't see it. You don't see it coming. It's not like you can really prepare. You don't get to practice in that type of wind. So
Unless you're crazy. Hey, it's a hurricane. Let's go throw.
let's go check out how our discs fly.
And then look at how nice it could be.
Hole 7's a par 4. It's 545 feet. You want a hyzer right in front of this tree as a right-hand backhand player. The further you can get down the fairway, obviously, the easier approach is. Most people want to throw a sidearm to the green. That's the most open shot to work this left-hand side. You can throw backhand as well. There's not a lot of trouble except for a fence running along the short side of the green. There's a bunch of trees growing around the fence as well, so it just makes your putt a little bit more technical.
Bushnell puts that at 345 feet.
On a hyzer.
On a hyzer, yep.
Uphill the whole way.
Yeah, and she's in the ideal spot to approach the green now. Hokom having to get a bit trickier with her trace.
Looks like this, I think if I remember correctly, it was a tailwind. The way the discs are flying, it looks like it's a tailwind as well. Definitely holding discs on their hyzer angles, trying to force them to finish. She'll be kind of under the branches, but she'll have an up and down.
She'll
for
have
her
a
sidearm.
better look at it than yesterday, and I mean, she had a good shot out of there yesterday, so I'm pretty confident in her abilities.
Catrina commits to the hood up.
I can't throw with the hood on. Drives me nuts.
I did the whole day. I forgot a hat. I didn't know it was going to rain. It was brutal out there.
A few people did not know it was going to rain. You saw some shorts and t-shirts and single towel action and like some questionable choices.
We were all fighting for our lives.
To be fair, the weather changes out here so quickly. Like I was monitoring it hour by hour, and the amount that it was like, it is going to rain. It's not going to rain. And then and then it didn't say anything about that wind. Come on, weather guys.
Yeah, definitely not in the forecast. They failed us.
255 feet left here for Kona. Throwing that Emperor. Not enough turn, or just not straight enough.
Yeah, it looks like she might have early released it. Everyone's dealing with wet grips now too, and the wind was very cold, so your hand, like I'm sure a lot of people didn't have hand warmers or anything to prep for it.
No
So
one.
everyone's got cold hands, everyone's got clammy hands, and it's really hard to get a feel for the disc when we're throwing with ice cubes instead of fingers.
Probably icicles. They're, like longer and thinner. Kat had a really good approach, like 25 feet, and Paige looks pretty parked, maybe 15. She was so far up there she could just pitch that little backhand.
50% of the field was birdies on this hole.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, so I was on the card before this, and we were just on the green, just finishing our putts quickly as we like felt the wind start. So unfortunately, this is the only card that had to deal with it on this hole. So everybody else just having normal, little bit windy conditions, able to attack a little bit easier.
This is Catrina for birdie. No.
Cannot miss.
Yeah.
Paige with a tap-in bird.
Yeah, the you could see the front coming because the clouds are really dark, of course. You see that a storm's coming. But the crazy thing was, out of Jonesboro with all the trees, you could hear it coming before you knew it was coming. It sounded like a freight train blowing the leaves around.
This is where my card felt that freight train hit. Hole 8. It's 324 feet. I mean, it calls for a distant sidearm if you have it. or just a straight backhand. You're not trying to get too greedy on the backhand. If you throw too much of a turnover, you can end up on the right side, which can be really obstructive.
Punishing?
Punishing, sure.
They have cleared it out a lot more in years past, though, so it's a little bit less scary.
Look at the wind just beat that down.
I know, this is a terrible hole to feel the freight train.
Yeah. I mean, she threw that about as well as she could, and she should have a relatively easy pitch up, which at this point, par on this hole in this wind, not too bad.
Yeah, whenever the conditions change like this, you have to really change your game plan as well. And these players, being as experienced as they are, know what that's like and know how to make that decision on when to change.
Wow. That was an H3V2 just
going
ripped, going forever.
So I'm sure a lot of these players are okay with settling for the par at this point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think even on the best of days, other than Hokom or someone with, like, the best distance sidearm ever, it's kind of a bonus birdie. Like, you can get it, but you're not expecting to every single time or anything.
Totally.
That was pretty well done from Hokom. It flips a little, leaves her on the edge of circle 2.
You can see these discs dancing. Kona doesn't get the lift she's looking for, but she'll be inside circle 2 on the bottom side of the hill.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you saw where Kat ended up. It's really easy to push that far or end up hyzering out and ending up in kind of this thick stuff and having a really awkward approach. That was well done, though. I mean, but that's a tester, elevated pin and windy. Paige, that looks like a slam dunk.
Yeah. Tap in. Sarah looks like she's just laying up, yeah. Smart move here. If you catch that lighthouse or if you catch the cage low, you can definitely find yourself rolling away from the basket rapidly. And this is a very big hill to roll down. Lots of room to roll.
Nope, hood off. This is serious.
Another angle that the basket looks absolutely massive compared to little tiny Catrina. Nice pars.
Yeah.
They're not upset with those. Paige going through a routine, even for the taps.
I think it's smart. I mean, if any of you have ever missed, like a 6-footer, you usually learn to take your time.
Routine is good. 2 birdies on the day. Congrats to Christina Lenthicum and Jessica Weiss.
Star par for the lead card, which is great. Gonna round it out with hole 9. Go ahead.
It's a par 5, 715 feet. I love this hole so much. Kind of a softer par 5, but it makes you more comfortable to go for these big shots. You want to get through that first small gap off the tee to set yourself up for a hyzer around that big tree on the left, to hopefully give yourself a look at approaching the green.
No OB, but lots of natural trouble.
Paige absolutely pipes it.
Look.
Oh my God. In the pouring rain. Big props to GKPRO for being out there
Oh my God,
in
I was
these
just going to say
conditions.
that.
Yeah.
It sucked to play in. It was probably just worse to watch people struggling.
And then try to keep your camera dry the whole time.
Man.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Katrina also just making it look like there's no weather at all.
Kinda. Look at it just bounce around up there.
This is such a difficult gap to hit. I swear it gets more narrow every year, obviously, as the trees grow. But, I'm not lying. It gets more narrow. But they're finding the center, no problem, getting way down the fairway. Ooh, catches some cabbage on the left-hand side, but filters.
She's in a great spot. All of them getting really good distance. They can all still get their 4,
Yep, they definitely have not lost that option yet. Making it look so easy. Kona gets a little bit more push to the right than she probably wants.
Yeah, she'll have to contend with that tree right there.
Definitely going to have to take some meat off the second shot when you have to throw an anhyzer sky, Annie, or maybe she'll even look at the hides, or you can go both ways around the tree and still set yourself up for having a look at the fold.
Can you say steam? Like, I don't like meat on the discs. A little steam off the disc.
Have I said meat a lot?
Twice. It's deeply uncomfortable.
Feeling meaty this morning.
Oh my god. Like meat off the bone. If none of you have ever met Madison, she tends to mess up really common sayings and like make it into her own thing, but I oppose this one.
It's an excellent skill for commentary.
That was a really nice shot from Kat. Putting
was
it
a
into
huge
circle too. Yeah, it's this hole apparently is, just pretty easy.
Yeah, no big deal.
I mean,
about the rain and the wind.
Well, and the footing on this hillside, you're often having an uphill run up, so it's pretty easy to slip. Oh, whoa. Paige pushed too far straight.
Oh, she does what you're supposed to do. You have to push those trees on the backside.
Right. She pushed it a little bit too much and then got a fortunate break, I think. But
yeah,
it was it was a good shot, but still fortunate.
On your second shot, if you want to get to the green, you kind of have to hope it gets through those trees.
Yeah.
There's no way for a backhand angle to get to the green.
You're right.
From where she was.
And they're all just crushing this hole.
Way down there.
Hokom having a chip beforehand.
Uh-oh.
He puts it out a little too far to the left.
It lands softly.
Just over 20 feet, 22 feet. Just laying up.
She's so good at those little spinny layups, even on the steeply sloping green towards the out of bounds.
Oop, asking for it to settle. Leaves herself a bit of a tester.
Puts it up kind of high for a layup.
Yeah, in her disc list, she says, alpaca too long.
Oh no, Paige for the eagle.
Bummer.
We all wanted it.
I don't think there were any eagles this week.
Nope.
Yeah.
A little surprising, but not really.
I mean, Paige is probably the one to do it.
Yeah.
Or Kat.
Catrina, though, I think the reason she's scoring so well is because she's not, she's playing aggressive, don't get me wrong, but she's not hyper aggressive.
Yeah, she's not like trying to get greedy.
She's got her placement spots mapped out, and she's sticking to the plan.
Do you think she'd sell me those blueprints so I can win next year?
I was about to say, how do I get a copy of these plans? Oh, no.
Kona leaving it short. Probably
Still getting a par, though. I mean,
yeah.
It's nice to miss a 20-footer and still get a par.
That's probably not what's in her head. She's having a bit of a rough front nine.
Trying to be positive here.
Yeah, fair enough. Kat with a really easy birdie, stress-free. Thank you so much for joining us on the front nine. It's been interesting, I think. Kona's struggling. The other ladies finding some trouble. I mean, Hokom actually is really clean. Mm-hmm. So...
But like we
Paige
said
and
earlier,
Hokom just one stroke apart.
There's no catching Catrina at this point. She's gone. Bye-bye. There's 9 holes left, and there's just not really a chance for anyone else. So we get to watch her continue to dominate, hopefully on the back nine, and we get to watch Macy Walker climb up the leaderboard and check out our own hot goose.
Honk.
Erika Stinchcomb, 3 down, even in these conditions.
Well, 1 down on the round, 3 down overall. But still.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
Missy Gannon up there in the top 6 as well. No surprises there. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese. Honk.